the stress relief plan. This is part 3 of our video. Please check part 1 and 2 in the playlist of this channel. Practice being calm. Always strive to plan and decide while you're at ease and unhurried. Stress or rage may cloud your judgment and cause you to make hasty or counterproductive decisions. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Count in your head for 5 seconds, then gently let out air through your mouth for an additional 5 seconds. Continue using this breathing technique until you are at ease. Change your perspective. Get your thoughts away from the tension by focusing on the things you have planned for the day or by thinking about something that makes you happy, such as your kids or spouse, as long as they aren't the source of the current stress. Picture peaceful scenes like a rural road or a secluded island. You can put yourself in that circumstance rather than the one you're in if you close your eyes and try to visualize even the smallest elements of the setting. Remove yourself from the stressful situation. Try to physically get away from the stressor if you can. To gain perspective, walk out of the room or stop driving for a while. Recognize that anxiousness isn't necessarily a terrible thing. Anxiety or worry may occasionally be an indication that you're debating a crucial or perhaps detrimental course of action. For instance, you might experience tension at giving away all of your possessions, purchasing a school bus, and leading a nomadic existence in the desert. It goes without saying that this is a major choice, and you should give it careful thought to see if it's the right choice for you. Anxiety should serve as a reminder to take your time and consider everything. Select a response. When under stress, you often have 2 options. You can decide to alter the circumstance or your reaction to it. Although you have no control over what is causing your stress, you do have control over how you will handle it. You can decide to pick up fresh methods for reacting quickly. You have the option to change your thinking. When choosing your strategy, take into account several questions. Can you prevent it? Sometimes you can change the situation by avoiding stressors. For instance, you can look over your agenda for items you could drop if your busy schedule usually causes you stress. You might also practice declining requests more often or requesting assistance. Can you change it? Some of them are unavoidable, but you can change how you handle them to affect the circumstance. For instance, even if you and your spouse are the most loving people in the world, you will inevitably argue with each other at some point in your relationship. These, however, don't have to be difficult if you change your strategy, such as finding compromise or verbally expressing your concerns rather than passively. Are you able to adjust? Even when you can't change the environment, you can sometimes alter your strategy or your conduct to lessen stress. For instance, if rush hour traffic routinely makes you anxious, you cannot change it because you must travel to work and rush hour traffic is a global issue. Take public transportation to work, choose a new route home, or leave a bit sooner or later in the day to change how you deal with the stressor. Could you take it? You simply cannot change some things. You cannot influence or modify the thoughts, feelings, or behavior of others. No matter how hard you try to be a good communicator, you can't change the fact that it rained on your wedding day or that your boss is a selfish jerk. You can, however, recognize that you have no control over these things and let go of your desire to do so. You can also think of them as opportunities for growth and learning. Plan beforehand. Some tense situations can be resolved immediately with one move, but most of the time, you'll need to take numerous measures, possibly over a long period of time. Make a written strategy with attainable objectives and a timetable for achieving them. Many stressful circumstances can also be avoided. You might not experience as much stress later if you plan ahead for critical events and create backup plans. A pound of treatment is worth an ounce of prevention. Be sensible. You probably haven't established realistic goals if you're still under stress because you can't move forward rapidly enough, despite your best efforts. It can be challenging to accept that sometimes you can't achieve something, at least not within a certain time frame, in a society that emphasizes a can-do mentality. If so, adjust your schedule or lessen your expectations. If you are unable to achieve that, the circumstance is one that is beyond your control. Take advice from your experience, but move on. Take things gradually. Even with a well-thought-out plan in place, a complex problem can be overwhelming, but keep in mind that every journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Just pay attention to one minor objective at a time. Be nice and patient with yourself while you carry out your ideas. Keep in mind that achieving personal improvement takes time and effort. When you run into difficulties or obstacles, which is to say, you will consider them barriers rather than failures because they can teach you how to approach problems in different ways. Good, now that you have the plan in place, proceed to the action on part 4 or our video in this playlist.